Hi, it's Matt, and this is my morning monologue, just after noon edition. It was December 1999, early December. I got this phone call, and the person on the other end said that they were from Hospital Audiences Incorporated and that they heard that I was a mime. And I said, that's really interesting. And because, I I wasn't I wasn't a mime, but I've taken mime classes before and stuff like that. But anyway, I didn't say no. I said, well, that's really interesting. Where'd you hear that? Well, we heard it from a friend of yours, Matt Mittler. Matt Mittler told these people that I was a mime. But anyway, so I wasn't a mime, but I had taken mime classes. So they said that they were wondering if I would be available on New Year's Eve to do miming at the Staten Island first night celebration, which I think was in Snug Harbor. I think that's what it's called. I think that's what it's called. So I said, oh, wow, this sounds really interesting. And they told me that it paid $800. And that's a lot of money, right? So I said, oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, definitely. I'm available and I can do it. Terrific. And so they said that they would send a package with the contract in it and sort of the itinerary and stuff like that. So I said, oh, great. So I got off the phone and I kind of laughed, and then I went and I put together a mime outfit, like a traditional French mime outfit. Now, the as I said before, I'd taken mime classes, but it was more like movement. The classes I took were like movement, without words, like theatrical movement. So not French mime. But anyway, so I put together this French mime outfit, got like a black and white striped shirt and like white gloves and a beret, and I figured out some mime makeup. I got the old clown white out and put together a mime look. And then my friends who lived in the building right below me, I went down to their place and I told them the story. We were cracking up, and I was dressed up as a mime. This was just me sort of, making sure that I had the outfit. And we were laughing and stuff like that. And they were like, what are you going to do if they, like, what are you going to do, like, if they, if they find me out? And I was like, I'm just not going to talk. If they interrogate me, I'm just going to be like, because I'm a mime, right? So anyway, December goes by, and it's like a day or so before New Year's Eve, and I got this package in the mail, right? But I never opened it, and so I get this phone call, and they say, just want to double check that you got the package with the contract and the itinerary and everything. And I said, yeah. Oh, yeah, I got it. And I opened it while I was on the telephone with them, and they said, just sign the contract. You can bring it with you and everything, and just if you have any questions. I was like, no questions so far. And I'm looking at the itinerary, and it said like there were these like 15-minute walkarounds and stuff. So I said, well, actually, I have a question about the itinerary. It says like I'll do these like every hour. I'll do a 15-minute walk around, and the person's like, yeah, you'll work the line as people are waiting to come in. You'll work the line, and because people are going to be coming in, there's all kinds of festivities, and it's going to at midnight. There's going to be an enormous fireworks display, and that's the sort of the culminating event of the whole thing, and it starts at 7:00 and everything. So I look at it, and I see at like 11:15 or 11 o'clock or something like that, it says the full mime production in the theater. And I was looking at it. I was like, yeah, actually I have a question about the full mime production. What is that? And she said, well, that's where you'll do your you have an opportunity to do your full mime performance, your whole thing. And it's a beautiful theater. I forget what it was like, a Victorian theater that was just renovated. It seats 199 people, and we're expecting a big crowd. And all that. I was like, oh my God, they want me. Like, I'm going to be under the lights. I'm going to have to do I'm totally going to be found out. Right. But so I talked to Tracy about it, and Tracy's like, look, just do this. Just improvise something. Just improvise a performance. You can do this, Matt. You can do it. So I said, okay, that's what I'll do. So I get there, right? And they met the performers, the people, like there was like jugglers and everything. They met us at the ferry, and they drove us in a van to the place. And then they brought us to this room, and they said, and the room was not part of the theater. It was like another area of the land there. And so they said, this is where, you'll change and everything. So I sort of, found my little area, and I got dressed, and I, put on my makeup and everything. And they said, don't worry, everything's going to be safe here. We're going to lock the door, and so it'll be safe. And at the end of the night, you'll simply get one of the security people to unlock the door and to let you in. Perfect. So my plan was to do the whole thing, and then do the full Mime production, and then right after that to split over, come back, wash off, and that was like a little bit of a distance from the theater to the place. So to wash off my makeup and everything, put my street clothes back on, and go out and bring in Y2K, right? I was gonna bring in the year 2000 with this beautiful fireworks display. That was the plan, right? So I do like the walk around and stuff like that. And it's really wild because like the makeup for me, it was like I was wearing a mask, and it somehow liberated this playful spirit that I had inside me. I was kind of like, oh, this is really me, And I was running around this field. I thought like, oh, wouldn't it be trippy if I just like ran out in the middle of this empty field, and all the people would look at me and they'd see it'd be surreal. So I was doing all this surreal, crazy stuff. I was having a ball. And I think that they were happy with what I was doing, whatever. So there was this kid, and he, like his mother said, like he wanted to be a mime or something like that. And so he was like sort of hanging out with me and stuff like that. And I communicated to them to be at I was like showing them on the thing, on the plan, on the, list of events, like be at that. I was going. So they said, oh, they're going to be there. They're going to be. So they went to the full Mime production at 11 o'clock. So here I am at the full Mime production, backstage. And coincidentally, Eddie Brill, who is a comedian who I know, he was on right before me. And so then he was standing there, and I was like, hey, Eddie, I was backstage. He was like, Higgins? I was like, yeah, it's a long story, but yeah, break a leg. So then I go on. And what I did was I got a bunch of suggestions non-verbally from the audience. I hung this paper up on the wall, and I was getting like different things, like I got like occupations like firefighter and astronaut and all kinds of different activities and stuff like that. And I made a list of them on the papers. And then I asked for volunteer from the audience, and the kid's hand shot up, and I brought this kid up on stage, and my plan was to just deflect all of the attention like onto the kids, and nobody really whatever was focused on my mime ability. But so it went off. It was great. It was blissful, and it was really, really cool. And then so now I'm like, okay, the show's over. It went really well. Now I want to go change. I want to get out of my makeup and everything, and it's the Y2K fireworks. Y2K was like a really big deal. Remember that? Like there was all this like stuff kind of around it. So I run across the field or whatever. I get to to the place. I go into the basement where the room is, where we change, and the door's locked. I was like, oh yeah, the door's locked. So I asked someone with a walkie-talkie if they can unlock the door, and they're like, oh, we'll have to call someone to unlock the door. So they call someone to unlock the door, and this elderly man who's a security guard shuffles up, and it's really close to midnight. It's getting really close. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. So he unlocks the door and lets me in. And I go in, and there's like, it's just like a few minutes before midnight, and I'm like, I'm not going to make it to watch the fireworks. So what I decide to do is I decide just to sit there like this, just like really still and really quiet, my mime outfit, with this old man who is now making a pot of tea. It's like a plug-in kettle. And he's making a cup of tea, and I just thought I would sit there silently. I watched him make his tea, and then the fireworks went off. And after the fireworks were done, and he just kept on making his tea, I said, "Happy New Year." And he was like, "Huh? Oh, yeah. Happy New Year."